Hey everyone, it's me, Joe, and today I am joined by my good friend...
Other Joe, who always has a delayed intro.
He always
how's
does.
It going?
It's his trademark. So today we're here to talk about episodes 4 and 5 of the Tower of God anime. We were not able to record last week, so we decided to just make one video talking about both episodes. They went hand in hand really well. It's the Crown Game. So if you ever hear us talking about this episode, then we're talking about just both episodes in general. The Crown Game in general.
Which was totally planned and very convenient.
Yeah. It's not like we couldn't record. This was our idea the whole time. So that being said, this video is spoiler free. We're just going to be talking about how the anime handled these episodes and then how it related to the webtoon chapters. At the end of the video, the last few minutes, we will be going into spoiler territory for webtoon readers only.
Exactly. An example of a spoiler is...
So these episodes of the Tower of God anime, I thoroughly enjoyed them. Most of these episodes, I would say they got spot on from the original. They held very true with, Joe and I were talking about it earlier, specific panels in particular. Joe, do you want to talk about that?
Yeah, so if you didn't know, I grabbed the panels for the dub of Tower of God. And so many things were just like shot for shot, basically in the webtoon. All right, episode 5, or no, the end of episode 4. Leia Rose stops Anak from using the Green April inside Bomb's chamber, and like she's about to swing. She looks up, and Leia Rose. That's all shot for shot, basically how the webtoon went. It was very cool. The fight between Serena and Shibisu, very much the same to Shibisu punches Serena in the face, and that was hilarious. I remember her looking exactly like that in the webtoon. I mean, visually, I very much enjoyed it.
It was so
Both
spot
episodes, on. It looked very much just like, if you go back and read it, it looks basically the same.
Yeah, there were honestly, I feel like in particular episode 4 was so similar to what the original webtoon showcased. Everything, like we mentioned too, even like First Emperor and the two guys that Hots fights, they kept so true. I mean, they cut out some dialogue things here and there. I think the biggest thing that they cut from episode 4 was Rack's famous line. The one that I actually have a shirt of what he's saying. And a game without me is a game not worth playing. They cut that, which was a little sad. I feel like that is a really iconic moment for Rack, so a little bit bummed about that.
But they did add like a new thing though.
They did,
where
yeah.
Rack takes out an entire like squad of teams by throwing his spear.
Yeah, that was.
I was like, whoa.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah. I love that they add things like that too. It's not just that they're cutting away from the original, they're also adding things, which is pretty neat. But let's talk about the elephant in the room, and that's the two major changes, and what do we think about how they decided to handle the ending of the Crown Game with Bomb's Shinsu going nuts and the Black March. We won't, still no spoilers here, but just what did we think? How was that handled? Do you want to start?
It was different. It definitely looked like it looked different. It seemed a little bit off to me. I wasn't quite sure, but I mean, I think it accomplishes the same thing. But it's weird because it something about it did seem kind of odd, and the conversation after it seemed kind of weird too. It's like an explosion, I guess.
Yeah.
Of power. And people say it makes it a little bit too obvious about a certain thing, but I mean, I don't know.
It's like we know that Bomb has this potential. I mean, he walked right through the Shinsu wall. I mean, the Shinsu didn't knock him away when Leia Rose did that mini test, and this is happening. Like, it's obvious that something's going on with Bomb. Like, Bomb is special in some way. But in the original, the way they built up to that was a bit more subtle, and in this they were just like, Bomb is a god, you know. It was just like much more crazy, which could be good or could be bad. I was pretty shocked by it myself, and it made me think, did I remember this wrong? But no, they just decided to hype it up a bit more. But I agree with you. It accomplishes the same thing, but they basically just dramatized it more, and made it more hype. It wasn't as mysterious, which it has its pluses and minuses. But what about the Black March? The way that the Black March stops Bomb from basically executing the red-haired girl. What did you think about that scene?
When he gets up, he gets so mad, and then yeah.
I like that scene better than the sun explosion. But go on.
I do too, actually.
Yeah.
I thought that scene was very much like when he jumps out and the person he cares about most in the world gets hit in the face by a brass staff or whatever staff.
Right.
He's gonna be the only person he's ever loved. I do think that's not out of character.
Right. No, I would agree. And it totally makes sense. And the way the angry side to him that comes out, I honestly love how they showcased that. It shows that Bomb isn't just this meek little boy who is just following after her. Like, he cares so deeply about her, and he can feel rage. You know, like when his loved ones are hurt, he gets angry. Like, he's a person, you know? I really like how they showed that.
Yeah, that's the thing about Bomb. I think season 1 Bomb, a lot of it is just him like reacting to stuff for the most part.
True.
And he never really truly gets really angry, until a certain thing happens a little bit later, which is a spoiler. But
no, yeah, I think this may be a hot take. I'm not sure. I think that season 1 Bomb is a bit of a weak protagonist, not in terms of power, but just in terms of being a protagonist. Like you said, he's kind of just experiencing everything. I think it works great because he sort of acts as a sort of like replacement for the viewer. He's experiencing all this for the first time, like we are.
Yeah, exactly. He's the one who doesn't know anything, so he'll be like, "Hey, Mr. Coon, what is that? The sky?" And it's like, no, that's just like
you idiot,
an image.
Right.
And then Rack's like, "Ha ha, stupid turtle."
Right, but we'd think the same thing. So he's like asking the questions that we want to ask, and so that's why I love it.
Yeah, exactly.
But
exactly.
I feel like Anime Bomb, I kind of like the way they're treating him. Like, even more so maybe than Webtoon Bomb at this point. They're giving him a lot of personality, if you notice, like Kun tossing him the crown and Bomb's like fumbling with it. Or Bomb freaking out with
funny.
Heaton, you know, and making these like weird noises and reactions. And I feel like they're giving him more of a personality than in the original. He's just kind of a boy. I love the original Bomb in season 1. Don't get me wrong, but I appreciate what they're doing to add to his character. But,
and they're not doing too much either.
True, they're not changing who he is.
Like, right? They weren't like, "Hey, this is Bomb and his favorite food is hot dogs and he's always eating hot dogs in every other scene."
And he always says, "Gotta go fast."
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know why I thought of that when you said hot dog.
Well, I mean, you know, I think the link is pretty obvious, but I mean, like it's nothing dramatic. I think it doesn't go outside his character.
I agree. So I do really like how they handled that. It also gives the Black March more of a presence because, like, she shows up in the original, but like she's much more just like doing things without actually showing herself. There's a scene in the original, which was in the Crown game, where she stops a bullet from Levin, which, by the way, rip Levin. He is officially gone.
Rip Levin.
He's officially gone, dude. It's really sad.
Yeah.
I don't know.
His replacements are, ooh.
His replacements.
Guy who runs away and gets hit.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That was basically the replacement for him. Because he was on Catan. Like, Catan is the gooey, stretchy body guy. He was on his team. Oh yeah, that was it too. In the original, Kun like absorbs that guy into his bag, straight up. But in the anime, he absorbs the wand girl's Shinsu. Which, okay, can we talk about that scene? The round 3 of the Crown game. This is all out of order, but we're gonna try to cover everything. Round 3 of the Crown game.
Yeah.
I honestly feel like that was handled so well. I feel like it was pretty fast, but I don't mind it because the scene where the teams are all fumbling over each other to get the crown, and it's all chaotic, and everything that's happening, I thought that was a really good way to illustrate that whole round, that whole scene, and the music was honestly pretty great. I love the jazzy feel.
I think it was easier to convey like kind of the chaos between like 4 teams there.
Right.
in anime form than it was in the webtoon. Because in the webtoon they were like, all right, I have my super speed, my super fast hops. I can get the crown before anyone. And it's like, I can stretch my body so I can get the crown faster than them.
Yeah.
They were able to just like do it all that, convey the information really quickly. Whereas the webtoon kind of, it's a little bit slower.
And that's the thing too, not to harp on our missing boy, but in the original it wasn't Catan being like, I have a rubbery body. It was Levin being like, I have a gun, or something like that. He was talking about his gun. Like, I miss him, man. I don't know why. He's such a minor character, but I miss him. I've seen a lot of hashtag Justice for Levin on Twitter and everything. Yeah, it's no one's actually upset, but like, we're upset, you know? Something like
Justice for
Okay, maybe I haven't seen a
Levin.
lot of it, but I've seen people talking about it.
Nope.
I promise I'm not making this up. I swear. Maybe it's not Justice for Levin, but it's something like that.
Is it hashtag Justice for Levin?
Yeah.
I don't think anyone cares, though.
That is not true, dude. People have been tweeting at me, man. And I've seen a lot of comments. Just on my videos.
I do see. Oh, you know what? I found one.
Did you really?
I did. From April 12th. Replying to you.
Okay, maybe that's the only one. Hashtag Justice for Levin. Yeah, I see it too.
That's it.
All right, look.
Go on Twitter.
Everyone,
hashtag
go on Twitter.
Make Justice for Levin a thing.
Let's make it trending. We can totally do that, right? Hashtag Justice for Levin. Okay, my point is, people are talking about it. Not necessarily that everybody's on Twitter tweeting about it. Okay, fine, Joe. You ratted me out.
Oh, expose
one person
Dr. Bonehead
did it
on his video.
No, one person did it at least, and I know a lot of people are talking about it. Go to the comments on these reactions
people
and
are
these
talking
videos.
About it.
They are talking about Levin's disappearance, or the gun guy, as they call him. Regardless, let's talk about Lauro and that whole thing with a knock in the Green April.
I really liked. Okay. We were talking about like frame for frame stuff.
Yeah.
Lauro's stuff was very much the same too.
Dude, yes.
I think this really showcases Green April's like capabilities really well too. Mm-hmm. Even though I still don't really get it that well. Yeah. It's like but it was cool to see it animated. Like it splits into like 2 and then 4 and then 8 and then even more and then just all attacks.
It showcases the power really well. I feel like that was handled really well. In the original, it's hard
Lauro,
to tell.
Yeah, and Lauro just dodging and be like, oh, I clearly underestimated her weapon.
Yeah.
I didn't know it could do that.
That was a showcase of the weapon. Yeah, like, a knock is extremely strong. Lauro knew he could, like, take on a knock somewhat well. But then
I think
the weapon...
it was explained really well, too, because... Like, the way Lauro says it is like, you should just give up because I can attack you nonstop from anywhere.
Right.
And you have to sit on the crown. Oh, yeah, you have to sit on the throne.
Yeah. She can't move. That's the thing.
Yeah.
And
it was actually, it's a really good strategy. Think about it. It's not really much of a strategy, but...
Right, if she didn't have the Green April, they would have been in trouble. Like, Hots would have had to step in and pretty much fight him, because a knock wouldn't be able to do anything. And that also showcases the power of Shinsu.
If Shibisu was on the throne, they would have lost immediately.
Oh, yeah. I feel like if Shibisu was on the throne, ultimately not much would have changed, because a knock still would have busted into Bomb's room and broken the rules. But, excluding that, I feel like they would have dominated the crown game. You know, like if they had actually handled it smartly and not broken any rules, a Nox team, I think, would have crushed it.
Well, if Lauro's team took the crown, I'm pretty sure they would have actually probably dominated too.
Right, but I think that if a Nock and Hots are off the throne, they can handle Lauro. Or, I mean, not necessarily handle him, but like they can move around. Like the whole thing was a Nock can't move, so Lauro can take her out. The only problem was Hots. Lauro's strong, but can he fight both Hots and a Knock? I'm not sure.
No.
Right.
But if the crown game ended and Lauro took the crown, I think it would have been quite tough for the other teams to get in.
That's true. That is true.
Probably Kun would find a way, because he, pretty quick boy.
And he's also a clever boy. That's true. Kun is an exception, but let's talk about... We can't name drop who this is, but let's talk about the Horned Girl. Best girl for a lot of people. Yeah, the high-heeled lady. Honestly, I loved all of that. Her voice is great, and I thought that the animation for her was some of the best, actually, like, in the series. I love how they handled that. Her fight against the masked red-haired girl was awesome and amazing.
It was showcased really well.
It really was.
Her heel, like, she keeps, like, kicking the staff, and then, like, the heel, like, very slowly is breaking.
Yes.
It was. I liked those scenes. I liked it a lot.
Handled so well, and I gotta say, the animation in general for episode 5 in particular, 4 as well, I think was stellar. Like, we talked about the bomb explosion and like if that was a good inclusion or not, but the animation for it was pretty awesome. Like, the scene in general was pretty awesome.
Yeah, I wasn't quite paying attention too much to the animation itself.
Sure. But
like the side by side with the webtoon for a lot of these scenes were really, really good.
Really spot on. And I feel like there's only like one or two more things before you can move into spoiler territory, but like Hansung and Lei Ro's conversation, I thought that was handled well too. I know you have a special connection to Lei Ro.
I do. It was quick, but it did say everything it needed to say. And you know what? Actually, probably if you like do the same comparison, it was probably the right length.
Sure. Yeah, it felt quick, but that's just how it is in animated form.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and they even included like the instant coffee joke. You know, like they're not cutting out all the details. They're still showing that Hansung is a coffee maniac who just drinks instant coffee. So I'm glad they did that. As a whole, I honestly feel like these episodes were really solid. What would you rate episodes 4 and 5? Do you know? Do you have a rating for them? A number?
Between numbers 1 and 4,981.
Yes, let's do that.
One being the absolute worst.
Yes.
I would give it about a 4,186.
That's like a... Is that like a 9 point... That's really high. If we're minimizing that to a 2 out of 10, man. Are you sure?
You're thinking really hard about it.
That hurt my head. Ugh. I don't know.
I mean, yeah. I think honestly, it was 1 for 1 with the webtoon really well, and I really enjoyed that. And I mean, call me nostalgic or whatever, but I appreciate that. I don't know if SIU was like, hey, you have to do it like this or else no anime. Or I don't know if the director was like, okay, we have to do it exactly like the Crown Game, because the Crown Game was definitely one of the hooks, I would say, of Tower of the God.
Certainly.
Like, it was definitely like a really interesting part of Tower of God when we get into it.
Right.
Because
that's true. It's
the Crown Game is basically like episode, what, 12, 13?
14,
yeah.
It's like 14 to 25. It's like it's the first real arc that we've gotten in the story. So it's what invests people, and it's kind of like a mini tournament, and people love tournaments. So yeah, and I feel like they handle it really well. I feel like as a whole, I would give it a 9 out of 10. Like, really, really solid stuff. And the interesting thing too is like me and Joe are coming to this as webtoon readers. But I'm seeing a lot of anime onlys who thought these were like the best episodes yet. So their view on these episodes are great, probably because, you know, we're saying, but compared to the webtoon, but they don't have that experience. So
yeah, their experience is probably even more valuable than ours.
Exactly.
I would say, because they don't know anything at all.
They're judging it just on the anime. Yeah, go ahead.
Like, I just love how everything was so scene for scene. Like, when Anak jumps off of the throne, and she's like, give me your weapon, and then Shibisu like runs up right behind Anak. Anak does the exact same face and expression.
Yes! Oh my gosh.
It's very different from how Anak is normally drawn.
And they kept
it was very, they kept the attention to everyone's reaction in the webcomic is very cool.
It's very cool.
Even so much to like when it almost becomes like, is this even the same show? when
Yeah.
she like pinches Shibisa's finger and it becomes like this oversized thing. He's like, oh.
Right.
The expressions are I love it.
It's awesome. Yeah, I think, and they've kept it, like you said, they kept a lot of things and added a lot of expression too. But anyway, guys, that's our main review of the episodes. Now it's spoiler time. If you are not a webtoon reader, get off, because we're gonna get into spoiler territory. I mean, so if you've read through season 1 of the webtoon, that's pretty much all we're going to be talking about.
If you need an example of a spoiler, I didn't want to actually.
Because someone could still be here. No. Okay, go click off now. Okay, come back once you've caught up. Or you've watched the whole anime. Okay, so the main 2 things I want to talk about first is Rachel. So our best girl Rachel, there was a line or a scene at the very, very end of episode 4, where in Dorsey, I can actually say their names now, and Dorsey is like, hey, is it okay to kill them all? And Rachel's like, yes, you can do it. And a lot of webtoon readers were like, whoa, whoa, whoa. Why are we spoiling this so early? I don't know if it was as big a deal as they're making it out to be.
Spoiling what exactly, my fellow?
I'm not going to say it outright in case people are stupid, but everybody who's here knows what I'm talking about. Basically just, maybe cluing us into Rachel's true nature. Like what's going on there. And I do think maybe it was a bit unnecessary. I don't think it's as big a deal as people are making it out to be. Some people. What do you think about that?
I think I chose to take it as like maybe this totally isn't Rachel. Why would she say that? Or maybe
right.
I don't know. I didn't look too hard into it. I was just like, oh, that's just the thing she said at like the end of an episode.
Well, I think part of it too is I don't think Dorsey meant literally, can I kill them all? I feel like she just talks that way, like even during the hide and seek test, she's like, can I eat them all? Like she doesn't really mean eat them. It's just the way she talks. So when Rachel's like, yes, it's okay to beat them up or whatever.
She says some pretty crazy stuff.
Yeah, and I don't think
about
she really
killing,
means
about
it.
messing up someone's face underneath their mask.
That's true. She's a savage.
Remember, everyone.
Yeah. So
your wife is a crazy person.
Keep that in mind when putting her in the best girl tier. But yeah. So that was one thing. Just a quick little thing there, and then honestly, one of my hypest moments from watching episode 5 was the name drop of Yurik Mizuno showing his back tattoo. I thought that was freaking hype as heck. And we talked about it before,
but I wasn't expecting it.
At the time of the webtoon. Right, I wasn't expecting it either, but it's cool because SIU maybe hadn't had his design down at this point. So it's awesome that they can actually do that because we are so far ahead in the webtoon. Mm-hmm. How did you react to that?
Like a little what do you think?
Yeah, like a preview.
I was my honest reaction.
Yeah.
I was looking at the screen. I was like, oh, cool.
Your reactions are so different than mine. I almost jumped out of my chair. I was like, no freaking way.
I mean, it was really cool. I was like, oh my gosh, oh wow.
Yeah.
That's right, because he has maybe he didn't have the design down, and oh my gosh, of course they would show him because they talk about Yurik Mizuno and Pentamina? No, did they talk about
they talk about him later. Enryu is name dropped in episode 2, I want to say, or chapter 2 with Yuri and Evan. Maybe he is mentioned, but briefly. He is the least mentioned of the 3, but he is mentioned. I'm pretty sure. It's cool getting to see stuff from farther ahead, and this isn't, I know I said this is for season 1 readers, this isn't spoiling too much, but just seeing this design that we've already seen further in the webtoon in some way, shape, or form being teased so early is what's cool. That's all there is to it. Not much of a spoiler there, but it's just really hype. I thought that was really awesome. So, any last minute thoughts? I disagree. Any last minute
thoughts? I enjoyed the episode a lot for my own reasons, because just being a big fan of the webtoon, it's everything just looks the same basically. I am just watching anime form Tower of God.
Which is what we all wanted. So we
Yeah.
loved it. It was just some great episodes. What do you guys think? What did you think of the episode? Your thoughts? Let us know your thoughts in the comments down below. I just mentioned so many words out of order. But if you want to follow Joe and support him, I'll link his Twitter and Twitch in the description below at Chromex20 and at Chosen Hero
Bonehead
Arrives.
on Twitter.
Chosen Hero
Twitter.
Arrives on Twitch. Chromex20 on Twitter, and he's also the voice of Lero in our dub, so he's
But
a
don't
frequent
believe
contributor
Joe,
to the
though.
channel.
Don't believe Joe because he is being dishonest right now, putting in the wrong information. At Dr. underscore Bonehead is my Twitter, and you can follow me there. I post lots of things like.
I don't think they're this stupid, Joe. We have the same name, but I don't think they're this gullible.
I am not saying people watching this are stupid. I am not saying that. I am just saying that my social media is at Dr. underscore Bonehead. And you don't want me to say that for some reason. I don't understand. Why would you do this every time?
I don't know what's gotten into him. Before we started the call, he was just role-playing me for like 5 minutes straight. And then I responded in turn by role-playing him. It's weird. Anyway, I mean, you could follow both of us. That'd be kind of cool.
How dare you?
Oh,
It's
I
one or the
foiled your
other.
plan.
It's
you follow
one
both
or
of
the
us.
other. You cannot choose both.
Oh, okay. I see how it is. But
So
anyway,
follow
guys.
Dr. underscore Bonehead.
Yeah, go follow Joe on Twitter and Twitch. But thanks a lot, guys. We will see you all in the next Tower of God review. Thanks for watching.
Yes, exciting. See you next week.
Exciting.
Bye-bye.
Take care.